Welcome to Before You Bet, presented by BetMGM. I'm your host, John Metler, flying solo today. Game 1, NBA Finals. Tyrese Halliburton, overrate that. The Pacers take Game 1. We have a series. I personally still believe the Thunder will win the NBA Finals, but I mean, now you're looking at probably 6, which makes it way more exciting for the average fan or everyone who's just watching. I doubt the Thunder can win 4 in a row. The Pacers, the cardiac kids, oh my God. How many times are they going to do this? Are you watching the fourth quarter and you're like, are they going to come back? And they do it again. And it's so demoralizing for their opponents. They did the Knicks, the Cavaliers, the Bucks, all of these teams. This is crazy. I don't know. My main takeaways from game 1 was, is it sustainable? I'm not sure for the Pacers. They did shoot, 47%, I think, from 3, just under 43-point attempts. They shot it really well, which is obviously the great equalizer in the NBA. I know everyone will be like, they turn it over 25 times. If they cut down the turnovers, then they should be fine. But that's also how OKC plays defense. So that's a lot easier said than done against the Thunder. I think every single team wants to turn over the ball less against the Thunder. You're now looking at Thunder, about a $3 favorite to win the NBA Finals. I took a look at this morning. I was thinking of maybe betting the Thunder, but $3 seems like the accurate number there. So I'm going to leave that alone. There also is this perception that the Thunder, there's no way they lose 2 in a row at home, and you're seeing it in the opening line for the spread. The Thunder opened about an 8.5-point favorite for game 1. Now they're about 11.5. It's come down to about 11 here, but obviously the number inflated just a little bit because there's no way they lose 2 games in a row at home. Everyone, I think, probably expects them to kill the Pacers in game 2, so that's why you're seeing a bit inflated number there on the spread. I think 11 is the accurate number, so I'm going to leave that alone as well. I'm going to get into some player props here. I have a couple player props, and I have an SGP. So the first one, I'm going Jalen Williams over 20.5 points, minus 125 here for the Thunder. Couple things for me. I really like this series. It's going to be fun for betting, but it's also kind of a nightmare because both coaches have 10 players, and you saw AJ Mitchell get minutes last night. I just don't know if you can say anyone on the Thunder other than Jalen Williams or SGA plays 40 minutes in the game 2. And even Chet Holmgren, we saw Chet Holmgren get benched. And I feel like both players, even though it is an 11-point spread, I think SGA and Jalen Williams do play 40 minutes regardless of score because you're not risking another comeback by the Pacers. They've done it multiple times. Even if you're up 20, I think they stay in the game here. This total was 22.5 for Jalen Williams in game 1. He goes under with 17 points, but 6 of 19 from the field. So now we're down to 20.5. He took 19 shots. When you take as many shots as you do close to your total here, sitting at 20.5, it's hard not to look at the over. And then you look at the shots. I went back and watched them. They did a really good job of finding mismatches for him. He got into a lot of pick and roll and like kind of with that hostage dribble, and he was able to attack the Pacers bigs going downhill. He only hit 1 3 in this game too. I think this number is just too low off of that game 1 move. I mean, again, like 6 for 19. I think the minutes, I think the shots, I think everything will be there for him. He's able to establish mismatches for him. I saw him attack TJ McConnell, Benedict Mathurin. The focus is on SGA. So at 20.5, I'm going to play the over for Jalen Williams in game 2 here. Move to the second bet. I'm going TJ McConnell over 6.5 points. Even money here. I'm going to kind of stay away from the Pacers starters. Slightly concerned, about game 2 here with the spread. TJ McConnell, his minutes wouldn't be as affected because just of how they play out. He only plays in the middle, the back end of the first quarter and then kind of the third quarter there. So he wouldn't be like a victim of blowout, doesn't play the fourth quarter. I don't think that will happen regardless because it's the NBA Finals, but just to be a little bit safe here, I do think the Pacers, they need to take pressure off of Tyrese Halliburton. And you saw it with Andrew Nembhard. Andrew Nembhard was fantastic in that game down the stretch, alleviating that pressure off him. And I think TJ McConnell is the other guy who can help with that. And you look at this number, 6.5. He had an edge if he's playing about 15, 16 minutes, which is what you expect from TJ McConnell. I just feel like he could push more of that like 18, 19, 20, because I think they need multiple ball handlers on the floor to help out Halliburton. You have McConnell and Nembhard run those initial actions, and then you get the ball to Halliburton against a rotating defense. So he's not going head-to-head against Lou Dort and, Kaysen Wallace or Alex Caruso. So I think TJ McConnell's minutes should be slightly higher. I think he has a pivotal role in this series. And they just weren't guarding him. Like you look, the one he hit a 3, I know he's not a 3-point shooter, but Lou Dort didn't even close out. So, and there's a couple other plays where he, ripped by a couple guys and got an easy layup. And you're like, they're not concerned about him. They're guarding him to pass. So I'm going to take the points here. I'm going to go over 6.5. I think that's too low. I think he could play more minutes than he's anticipated. And to the SGP, plus 1,700. I think it's a really good price. We're going to roll with it here. I'm going to go TJ McConnell on the alt, 10 plus points. If he's not much of a scorer, but you look at his box scores through the NBA playoffs here, he's hit double digits quite a bit. And he also just kind of has like that, sneaky little fadeaway in the lane, which I think kind of plays against the shot blocking of the Thunder. So I think that helps. I go Andrew Nembhard, 15 plus points as well on the alt. And could put both alts. I think both of these players are extremely important to the Pacers and their success because I think they have to take that pressure off Haliburton. This was something I thought the Minnesota Timberwolves didn't really do a great job of. It was like Anthony Edwards was just going head to head against this defense, and then they didn't really play Mike Conley for more minutes. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, they didn't, they can't really handle the ball like that. But the Pacers have these guys. So I'm going to play both of these guys on the alt because I think their minutes could be elevated because I think they need them to help Haliburton on offense. And if you're getting 15 plus points from Nembhard and you're getting 10 plus points for TJ McConnell, which are both alts, I feel like you got a pretty good chance of covering the 11 point spread here for the Pacers. So I'm going to pair all three of those together, plus 1,700. That's the SGP for game 2 of the NBA Finals. I'm conflicted here because I want a longer series, but I want the Pacers to cover the 11 there. So hopefully we get a Thunder win by like 1 or 2 to kind of extend the series. Hopefully we get 6-7 games. That was an awesome basketball game last night. I know everyone's been dunking on the NBA Finals here. That's 2 small market teams. That was an instant classic with Tyrese Haliburton hitting that shot and the Pacers coming back. We'll be back next week for game 3 of the NBA Finals. Those are my 3 bets for game 2 of the NBA Finals. This concludes Before You Bet, presented by BetMGM. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy game 2.